I'm here today at Barton House to talk to Anna Soubry about women in education and women in the workplace. Let's go! So thank you so much for your time today, Anna. You've obviously had a successful career in media, law and politics, and have you found that women are treated better in some professions than others, and do you think this is affecting women's career choices?
I don't know really. I mean, I never thought there were particularly any barriers, but I suppose there must have been.
Yeah.
Actually, I was also a lawyer, so I've worked in 3 traditionally male-dominated professions. So the media tended to be dominated by men. And when I first worked for Central Television, I was the only woman reporter. And then I worked as a criminal barrister, which is how I trained. I trained to be a lawyer. And at that time in Nottingham, there were hardly any women doing criminal law. And that was back in the 1990s. It's not that long ago. And in politics, I think there is still quite a lot of sexism against women. I think some of it people don't appreciate. So my former profession of certainly the law has made big steps. So there's far more women now. In fact, I think over 50% of graduates doing law are women. And certainly at the bar, women are I think actually at the criminal bar it's at least 50-50. But in politics, we're nowhere near that. And I think that there's a lot that all political parties can do, other than tokenism, to make sure women get involved. And one of the things that we need to do is we need to change the way we do politics, change the language. I mean, it's pretty brutal stuff at times, and that's not something it's not because that women can't do that. Of course we can, we're just as strong and tough as any man. But I think it's much of a more unpleasant way of doing things, and I think, frankly, a lot of women have got more sense who go, do you know what? I don't need this. I can go off and do something else. I don't need all this nonsense. And so we are able to do that. We can walk away from stuff and say, I'm not doing that nonsense. I can go off and make just a bigger impact, but doing something else.
Yeah.
And I think actually we need to get stuck in more and say, do you know what, we're not having any of this.
So do you find the barriers to women succeeding has decreased over time, or do you think it's improved?
I think it has, definitely in the law and in the media, definitely. In politics we've made huge steps, but there's much more to be done.
So do you think that women are treated better in some professions and then others, and do you think that this is affecting women's career choices?
Yes, so if you look at medicine, that's another example where we now have, I think it's over half the number of people graduating in medicine are now women. So yes, in many professions we've made great strides. And as I say, in those where we haven't, politics is a good example, we need to do more.
Yeah. Who inspired you to become a successful female?
I think I had a lot of strong women in my family. Both my grandmothers were strong women. I think my mother's a strong woman. All of them in the face of some adversity in their lives, and they just kind of get on. And of course I was, Margaret Thatcher, the first woman Prime Minister, was when I was young. And the Queen.
Yeah.
I think we forget what an inspiration she is to people.
How can we create equal opportunities in education and in the workplace?
I think aspiration is hugely important, actually, whether you're male or female. I think that we must say to people, reach for the stars, reach for the top, believe you can actually do the stuff of your dreams, and aim high. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't take it that you will be second rate or I can't do that. Give it a go. I think it's hugely important.
Why do you still think there are gender inequalities, particularly in senior leadership roles in education?
I didn't know there were. That's interesting. Look, I think one of the things we have to look at is, and this is quite controversial stuff, is we have to decide as a society and indeed as women how we do the stuff we do and have children. And I'm not sure we've even begun to have that debate.
What is your advice to young females like me who want to be successful in a society where inequality still exists?
Yeah, I mean, it does exist, but it's not as bad as it used to be. I just think we battle on, and also we don't take any nonsense. You should not have to put up with somebody making comments that are unacceptable. I think youngsters have got to get a grip on all this sex texting that is going around. I think you've all got to get a grip on your body image. I think a lot of young women have got to think less about how they look. Who gives a monkeys? As long as you don't smell. No, but seriously,
Yeah.
As long as you're fit and you're healthy, that's what matters, not how you look. Being fit and healthy is the most important thing. And I think too many young people actually really obsess about their look. And it's actually not important. So when I was young, you wanted to look half decent. but you know, your clothes, we didn't have much money as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, so I don't want you all to be poor, obviously, but I just think, you know, that is not the most important thing, is how you look or whether you've got this designer lipstick on. I mean, who gives a monkeys? Truly.
Yeah, it should be about the person you are.
It should be about the person you are, and we should all see the person and not the colour of their skin or even their sexuality or their sex or any of that stuff, but the person. And everybody should strive to be good, kind, generous, hard-working, aspirational.
Wonderful, that's everything, so thank you for your time.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
and good luck in your career.
Thank
I'm
you
sure
so
you'll be
much.
brilliant.